What's up, everybody? This is Chad Smith with The Real Solution and with Infinite Agent. Today, we're going to talk about the market. I saw something really interesting this morning. It's from a website called Reventure. I'm going to throw it up on the screen here in a minute. But the big thing to think about as an agent is this. What's going on in the market? Don't bog down in the details. Just identify what the shifts and the changes are in the market. And then realize that someone is always buying and someone is always selling in residential real estate. And I can go back and tell you the stories on the big changes and the shifts that we've made throughout the years in real estate. But this meeting right here is a meeting that the Chad Smith team has done over 2,500 times over the last 10 years. And what we do every morning is we work in our business before we go to work. We work on our business before we go to work in our business. This is the meeting where we get better every day. So we look at the market, we look at what's going on in the market, because there are always challenges in every market, and there are also always opportunities in every market. And it's really easy to get stuck in this mindset of the market's good or the market's bad, but the market is what it is. And someone is either selling because they want to, or they're selling because they have to. And someone is always buying. Even if a lot of people are terrified to buy, someone's buying. And so it's been challenging whenever the market was red hot, and it's been quote unquote challenging when the market has been cooled off. So let's look at what's going on right now in this market. If you're a real estate agent, if you're a mortgage professional, let's look at what's happening right now in the national market. And then let's just have a conversation about what changes and what things we could put in place in order to still dominate our local markets and build an amazing career. All right, so let's take a look at this. Let me share my screen. All right, so I saw this article this morning. This is from Reventure, Nick Gerald. New home prices have collapsed by 20% from the peak, with the median sales price of a new house dropping from $497 in mid-2022 to barely over $400,000 today, which is a much faster decline than what occurred in the Great Recession of 2008. Now, in case you still think there's no housing downturn, in the last downturn, new homes sales prices from builders dropped 23% from 2007 to 2010. Today, we're at a 20% decline in half the time. So if you really think about what we've gone through, if you've been in real estate for the last couple of years, we saw the fastest rate hiking schedule that's ever happened in U.S. history. And now we've seen a faster decline, a 20% decline, in half the time that it took to see relatively that same amount of decline in the 2008 through 2011 downturn. Right. Number two, of course, prices are still high compared to pre-pandemic levels, with another 18% drop in builder sales prices needed from here to match the 2019 value nationally of $336 for a new home. And then he asked the question, will we eventually get there? I don't know. Nobody has a crystal ball. So we mentioned several times last year, if you are in our community already, or if you've ever heard me talk, and we noticed mid-year last year that Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett's company, had purchased $750 million worth of shares in Lennar and D.R. Horton. And my guess is that they saw that these big builders had the ability to weather this housing storm because of the amount of capital they have and their ability to buy down interest rates. So let's take a look at these stats that they've got here on Reventure. It says Lennar, the second largest builder in America, is already reporting sales prices pretty close to pre-pandemic levels. Their national average selling price for deliveries in Q1 of 2024 of $413,000 was only a small amount above 2020 levels. Meanwhile, sales prices in Texas were at the lowest level in 5 years. Wow, interesting. Now, these builders are ultimately telling you what needs to happen in the housing market for demand to come back. cut prices 20%, and give buyers mortgage rates closer to 5%. If that happens, demand will climb back up to pre-pandemic levels. As you can see, these tactics of reducing prices and mortgage rates have allowed builders to return home sales to 2019 levels. To be clear, not anything close to the rebound in pandemic levels, but as I mentioned a minute ago, well, I didn't say this, but rates were at historic lows, so we saw appreciation like we'd never seen before, right? So that was unsustainable. So I don't even think that it would be healthy for us to go back to sales volumes of the late 2020 and 2021 levels. But if we did bring it back to 2019 levels, that would probably be a healthier environment. But put simply, buyer demand, new home sales back to normal. And the mortgage rate reductions are starting to get wild. Look at this. Lennar's ad, a 3-2-1 buy down mortgage rate buy down with 1.99 teaser mortgage rate in the first year and a 4.99% locked for the entire term. Meanwhile, mortgage rates are closer to 7%. Well, that's really what we've seen. Now, one other thing I'll point out, and Nick put this towards the end of his thread, that the reports that builders are actually building smaller homes with less features. So obviously this is how the builder has navigated through this fastest rate hike period in history. So they've cut out some of the features and they're building smaller homes. New home sizes are at a 13-year low. I thought about this morning. It's kind of like shrinkflation, right? That's how that's showing up in the real estate world. So let's talk about this for a minute. If I'm a real estate agent, this is happening. This has been happening. This has been happening for 18, 24 months. New construction, if you're working with buyers, can be an option that can allow affordability to work in your client's favor to where they could still buy a home and it would make sense financially for them in 2024. We have developed systems here on the Chad Smith team and in the Real Solution and Modern Agent where we go out and find folks that are interested in new construction. And then we have an entire system in place so that we keep our finger on the pulse of all the new construction, all the companies, all of their incentives, all their upcoming phases that are opening. And that way we are a local market expert, a local economist of choice, so that we can help buyers find the absolute best opportunity that matches their criteria. And then if you're working with sellers, you have to pay attention to what's going on in the new construction around that seller. Right? If you have a seller and they're listing their home, it's your job as a listing agent, as a real estate professional, to know what type of new construction competition your seller may have around them, because buyers are going to look at all of their options. This is what I mean by knowing what's going on in the market and then identifying what types of challenges are out there, but then also what types of opportunities are out there. We've helped dozens and dozens of buyers. Actually, we did the math on this the other day. Over 260 families have purchased new construction through our team since 2019. And the Chad Smith team here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, we've now closed and helped over 1,100 sellers or buyers buy property since January of 2020. So we've sold over 1,100 homes since 2020. And a lot of it has to do with, are you looking at the market on a consistent basis and not getting terrified, not watching the headlines and saying, oh, this market's bad or oh, this market's good? Are you looking at the market and saying, okay, where are the challenges? Where are the opportunities? What things do I need to put in place in order to find the buyers who still want to buy? Make sure that you find the best opportunities that match their criteria, and then helping sellers navigate whether or not they have competition around them, how to properly market strategically, and then sell in the best possible way, in the best possible terms. This is really what it takes to navigate through it. We have a saying around here that is, what's the market got to do with me? So if you're doing the right things on a daily basis, Your business as a real estate agent does not have to go up and down with the market. As an individual operating in real estate, there are always sellers who need help and there are always buyers who need help. It's up to us to look at this and identify what the challenges and what the opportunities are. Now, I have a Zoom room open right now with our Real Solution community. I'm about to walk back over here into the other room, and we're going to get together and talk about exactly what it is that we're going to do today to win today and to find sellers to help and buyers to help. Now, if you are not in an environment where you feel like you're daily getting equipped so that you can win each day, reach out to me. The info is right here on the screen, realsolutioncall.com, www.realsolutioncall.com. You can schedule a call with me or someone on the team, and we can talk about it. You could be part of our brokerage, or you could not be part of our brokerage. You can connect to the community either way. But if you're looking for someone with a track record like what we've got that has now sold 260 plus new construction properties just in the last couple of years. We have over 24 new construction properties under contract right now, and we've helped over 1,100 families sell and buy real estate just since January of 2020. And we are winning on a daily basis. Our Real Solution community, we meet 5 days a week, every week of the year. Reach out to me, and we're going to continue to do these live streams because we know that agents are looking for a community where they can learn. They're looking for modern lead generation tactics, and that's exactly how we're winning today, and they need help with implementation. So reach out, and we will see you guys on the next live stream.